Hey, thanks for watching this video. Today I'm talking with Tom Morello of Audioslave and Rage Against the Machine, but he is doing his own solo stuff right now. So we're gonna be talking about his brand new single and his involvement with the Back to the Beginning show for Ozzy Osbourne in the summer of 2025. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Tom, thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate it, man.
My pleasure. How's it going, man?
Not bad, dude. We'll go ahead and get started, man, just because I know you're kind of running on a tight schedule today. I got to tell you, Tom, in the 25 years that I've worked at KUPD, this is like a very special moment for me because I've never been able to see Rage Against the Machine, never been able to see Audioslave. I've always worked nights. It's been something that has been on my radar, but I've never been able to do it. So this is a very special moment for me. I just got to bring that up right now.
Right on. Well, I appreciate that. And if you stay in touch with I make this solemn vow to you. If you stay in touch with my people here, the next time that you are in the same city as me, I would be happy to facilitate tickets to a show if you can do that. But if not, I'll find you during the day and strum a little "Sleep Now" to the Fire for
you. Please do, because then that would fulfill every one of my childhood dreams.
Yeah. I mean it.
Very, very cool, man. And we've been happy to support you guys all through the years, whether that be you, Rage Against the Machine, or you in Audioslave as well. But we've got to talk about some things here that have been going on. You've had a very busy 2025. Now you're going into 2026. And, and I was told, hey, we could talk a little bit about this Back to the Beginning thing because I haven't talked to you about it at all, but you've talked with everyone else about it. But, that was a real key moment in 2025, you being asked to be the creative director for that. Now, before we go into that, I want to ask you probably not a more atypical question about that because you obviously set it up. You were working on it for so many months. And I want to know, at what point during the day of that huge event for Black Sabbath, Ozzy, how did you realize that it was more than just a concert?
Yeah, well, I mean, I had that in my bullseye from the beginning, that this was going to, if we're going to do this, we have to aim to make it the greatest day in the history of heavy metal. Heavy metal is the music that made me love music. It's in the DNA of 90% of my favorite artists, right? And so if we're going to do this, we really have to, treat it with the gravity that it deserves. I will say that once the actual day started, and it was thousands of hours of preparation and worry and anxiety and changing around. Stuff changed in the last 24 hours, et cetera, et cetera. But once it actually started, I had to let go. I'm like, okay, the bands are now going to play their songs, or they're going to fall off the stage, or I can't control it. I can't control it anymore.
Right.
But there was I'll share two moments with you. One was it was actually the night before. We had 3 days of 12-hour rehearsals with the super groups, right? And we just finished the last one. Everybody's so tired, jet lagging. The last group, which was me, Steven Tyler, Nuno, my son was there, etc. We're getting ready to go back to the hotel, try to get a good night's sleep before this thing actually kicks off. And somebody comes in and goes, "Black Sabbath is sound checking right now. Do you want to go see?" And we're like, "Oh, I think I can make time for that."
Hell yeah!
So we are in Birmingham Stadium. The only people in the stadium, there's 12 people in the stadium. Black Sabbath is practicing their intro, which is a song called War Pigs.
Right.
Okay. So this is the second to last time they're ever going to play this song. The red lights are on. The sirens are wailing. There's 12 people in the audience, and then they play War Pigs for us. And at the end of it, they don't even know we're there. So at the end of it, we're a quarter of a mile away, just cheering like crazy. Steven Tyler and Scott Ian and me, and we're just going absolutely. And it really I felt that. I felt, okay, this is something that could really, really matter.
Goosebumps.
Then afterward, then afterwards, so that the show happens, and it feels like it's a emotional success for all of the artists involved, for the bands, for Ozzy, for the city, for fans. And it's, we're coming back from, Ozzy actually went to the after party. Funny, Ozzy was there in the after party, right? Yeah. So we finally go back to the hotel. Now the hotel lobby, which they kept open till dawn, was filled with the bands, fans from all over the world, right?
Right.
And It's been a year and a half working on this show. It finally happened. We're exhausted, but we did it. We walk in, sort of this contingent of us, and then the whole place goes crazy. Like everybody's crying and standing and cheering, and for that band, for the legacy, for the night, for like the fact that like we actually did this. We did something that really, really mattered for fans and for the band. It was really pretty special.
Was there ever a moment during that time where there was a hard call that you had to make that the fans didn't know about? And was there something difficult? Because I know it's such a huge gravity of an event that I'm sure that there's some calls.
2,000 calls. 2,000 calls. The moment, one of the greatest moments of it was Youngblood singing Changes, right?
Oh, dude, that was so
48
amazing.
hours before, he's not the one. 48 hours before, he wasn't going to be the singer of that song. You know what I mean? Like things were changing. Like I landed at Heathrow Airport and I got a call that like that's not happening. So I'm like, okay, let's figure it out. And it turned out to be one of the highlights. So it was all the time, but that's the gig. That's what the gig is.
Yeah, so, that moment when he got up on stage, he's saying Changes. I mean, watching it from over here, you're just like you're getting chills, just understanding and knowing what is going into that. And so to make that call, to have him there, what an amazing, call. And we see him blowing up everywhere now with everything that he's got going on. Was there ever anything that you got to understand or that was revealed about Ozzy after that show? Did something like really go like, wow, I really didn't realize that about Ozzy?
Oh, that's fun. Well, I'll tell you my last Ozzy memory. Is where I'm at the after party playing pinball with my son, right? Yeah. Like and somebody's tugging at my shirt. I'm like in the middle of a multi-ball. So I'm like, get off me. I got a multi. It's Ozzy Osbourne. So so Jack Osbourne comes back and goes, dude, that was my dad. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. So anyway, I let the pinballs drop. And I go over to him, and he was appreciative of everything that had gone on. I got to give him a kiss on the head, one more time, thank him, and then like this is the last words that Ozzy Osbourne said to me as a person in person. He's like, "Tell Sharon I want to get the fuck out of here."
In true Ozzy form, right?
In true Ozzy form, and also sort of poetic. In a way, you know what I mean? And
everything about that man's life is just poetic. When you go back and you watch everything over the course of the time when Back to the Beginning happened, when they got on stage last, and then the events that followed, it couldn't have been more poetic. Yeah, it was beautiful. Very sad, but very beautiful. Now, of course, I want to switch gears and talk about some of the things that you've got going on. You have been on tour doing some stuff. I know you went to India recently, and you've been playing with your son Roman. And I got to tell you, I was on your Instagram the other day, and I was looking at it, and I see this young boy up there playing, and I look at it and I click on the video, and it's your son Roman playing Steve Vai's "For the Love of God," and I'm like, holy shit, this is insanity. And like growing up as someone who is like learned guitar and that's just insane. So you have to have a sense of pride for your son being able to play with you, because I relate to you on this level. Growing up, I played guitar with my dad in church. And so that was a very bond that cannot be broken. What can you tell me about playing with Roman? What does that feel like for you as a father?
It's pretty incredible. Growing up, there's a lot of instruments around the house, but neither of my kids were very interested. It was like during the pandemic when the rest of us were trying to like learn how to make sourdough bread or learn Italian or something. He put in the hours, right? He really put in the hours. Right. And now the crazy part about it is like he's just the dude in my band now. Like I don't even think about it anymore. Like we just have a lot of fun around the world, and and touring with someone who you love, who's in your family, who like I've toured a long time, and there's the shows never stop being an exhilarating moment. But sometimes the travel and you've like how many times can you be in a Brussels hotel, right? Yeah. Without losing your mind. But when you're able to do it all over again through someone's eyes who's never been to that chocolate shop, who's never been to that museum, who's never seen a live game of cricket or whatever, it's really like the most fun I have ever had touring in my life has been the last couple of years playing with my band, the Freedom Fighter Orchestra, and with my son Roman.
That's just incredible, man. I mean, who are some of his guitar heroes? I mean, outside of his own dad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, his dad.
No, well, I mean, he would be. You probably couldn't get that out of him. Probably get that out of him.
That'll come later.
His first real guitar hero was Jimmy Page. The first song he learned was "Stairway to Heaven," and he learned it, front to back and the solo. Then the live version from "Song Remains the Same," and so Jimmy was really big. Was really big for him. And then his older brother, is named after Rhodes, Randy Rhodes. So
right, yeah.
He's got the started learning Crazy Train, Mr. Crawley, those solos as well. Now he turns me on to then some of the newer shred, like Polyphia is a band that he likes, and he's always got some new YouTube sensation that he's turned. Who he's listened to lately though? I'm not sure how he found it. Gary Moore.
What? Are you serious?
Gary Moore. He's learning Gary Moore songs last night.
You just fall down these rabbit holes on YouTube, and that's how you discover it.
Yeah. And it's really, but it's crazy. Like now I sort of take it for granted. Like when he's not in school, we go on tour. Yeah. He writes with me. He writes some, like he did the theme song for Venom. That's his riff, for that. And funny thing, sometimes, haters are like, haters whose kids don't play guitar as well as mine. Will sometimes point the nepotism figure. I'm like, bro, it's not nepotism if your kid's that fucking good.
Dude, he puts in the work. He puts in the work. I know what it takes to play the guitar. It's hours and hours and hours of practice. So, I mean, there is no nepotism there. I can tell you that right now. I'm sure guided.
Come see me when your kid's playing the solo in For Love of God.
Exactly. I just mind-blowing to me. Now, speaking of new music, let's talk about this new single that you got going on, man. Everything Burns. I mean, over at KUPD, we recently just added it, and I listened to it, and I was like, oh my God, this is a really, really good track. I mean, I would say this is the ultimate workout track for pre-workout and post-workout, because everything does burn after that. So, but I got to talk with you about this whole.
While we may not have been.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, while we may not have been aiming specifically for that, I'm happy that's. No, this is a collaboration with Beartooth, and I was reached out to by the people who make the Final Fantasy 14 video game.
Yeah.
The composer, that's a big Rage Audioslave Morello fan, and he reached out and said, "Do you think you could try something?" I'm like, I don't write songs for video games.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't know how to do that, but I write songs, and if I come up with a jam that I really feel and it works for you, then we can talk about it. So Tyler Smith, the producer who probably produces some bands you play on your show there, he and I were working on some stuff, and he's a childhood friend of Caleb from Beartooth. So he called him up. It's funny because the Final Fantasy people said, we need to hear something in the next 36 hours. I'm like, I love a challenge. I'm like, right on.
Yeah.
I got some riffs, you got some beats. Caleb just happened to be home that day. And so Tyler calls him up and goes, do you want to do a song with Tom Morello right now?
Right.
And to his credit, in 2 hours, he sent back like a rough vocal. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like that's it was kind of lyrically intact, and he produced his own vocals. And I'm like, okay, man, like, let's go. And we turned it around in 36 hours, and they said, we love it. We want to use it. We're like, fantastic. And then it didn't come out for about a year. And the reason why it didn't is because the composer liked it so much that he was like, I just don't want to throw this song into the game. It's got to have a
moment.
A moment, like a cinematic moment in the narrative of, I'm not a gamer. I don't know what that, but
neither am I.
Apparently there's an ongoing narrative that matters, and he wanted it to be something that landed in a meaningful way. So, it's kind of the best of both worlds. They got what they were looking for, and I got a new banger track.
Yeah, it's a great track, man. I mean, what just real quick, what are some of the things that Caleb does bring to the songwriting process in such a short amount of time? It
was really impressive. Yeah, first of all, one of the things that artists often get in their own ways by overthinking. But when you've just got to go, okay, we have to come up with a song like right now. Here's my best idea. What's the chemistry that we can manifest right this moment? And that turned out to be Everything Burns. So I really got to tip my cap for him for that. Like he just, he was, I don't know, he was feeding the fish or taking the trash out. He just put everything, he just put everything down and then applied himself to it. And I thought it was really, really great. And also from a lyrical point of view, I was, I'm a fan of Caleb's lyrics. They tend to be more introspective, but due to his being a fan of my political work with Rage Against the Machine and my solo stuff, he was able to find a middle ground where he was to make something that could be sort of reflective of the dangerous times that we're living in, as well as something that spoke to his heart.
Yeah, I was just going to say a very introspective thing, because when I talked to him briefly last year, I had told him I know he's been through so much with his self-image, like anxieties that he's going through. And so when I look at the lyrics of this song and I go, oh, it's a very middle ground type thing where maybe you're using your anxiety to push forward into the next, like into something that's a little bit better.
Yeah. And it was, I mean, he's a lovely dude too. Like we spent a lot of time together and shooting the video and talking about this, and, you know, just a very, very talented guy. Like I was familiar with Beartooth, but like now working with Caleb, it was a real pleasure.
Yeah. So now this is going to be part of I got a couple questions and I'll let you go, man, but this is going to be part of an album that you're going to be releasing. So tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So this will be the 22nd album of my career, between Rage, Audioslave, Prophets of Rage, Bruce Springsteen, my solo stuff, etc. But this will be the first solo Tom Morello rock album, right? And so the idea is that, you know, Everything Burns is an example. I like to have the biggest of the Morellian riffs from my world of Rage and Audioslave, but then sort of matched with the, you know, Darkness on the Edge of Town songwriting, which is also a big part of my world too, and the sort of the Soundgarden songwriting, which I'm like huge fan of as well. Yeah. And to try to make a record that really kind of not only meets the moment, but that has a I don't know, is reflective of the best of everything that I do. I've been touring over the course of the last couple of years, you know, really embracing my entire catalog, you know, respecting the Rage of it all, respecting the Chris Cornell of it all, from the acoustic stuff to the guitar solo wildness of it. And I want to make a record that has all of those elements.
That's incredible, man. One last question I want to ask you, and it's about Everything Burns. What do you hope people, after this single has been out for a year, what do you hope that they will feel before they learn about the lyrics? What do you hope that they will feel after they learn more about it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, I mean, I've already heard from a lot of like fans of in the game, you know, for the Final Fantasy game, and apparently it checks their boxes, which I'm very pleased to hear. But for me, it's like I put this song on in the car, and it feels like it kind of goes toe to toe with some of my heaviest music that I've been involved in. You know, it's an exciting. It's what I aim for. It's funny, like I sort of in the back of my mind, whenever I'm writing a show, like I'm like, is this next song that I'm writing? Can I open my show with it?
Yeah.
Like can I write, because this is a song that you can walk into a festival show, walk into a club show, walk into an arena show and go, here's, you know, we're going to begin with this. Yeah. And Everything Burns certainly checks that box.
Awesome. Tom Morello, I want to thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to talk with us about your brand new single, Everything Burns, out right now, your new album coming out this year. So we'll be looking forward to that.
Yep, that's the goal. Yeah.
And when you do come back to Phoenix, man, I hope that I get to see you play. We'll make it happen, and we'll be able to finally connect after all these years.
Dude, I'm making you, I'm not kidding. This is a guarantee. Like, you're going to have to reach out to my people. And when I'm in Phoenix, I will make it. If it has to be strumming in a hotel lobby or at the KFC, I will do it.
Let's do it in a KFC. That will just make it more interesting.
Yeah, I will do it. You are, you know, I can tell that you are a fan of rock. And you have the heart of a rock and roll champion, and I would be delighted to do that.
Very cool. Well, you hear that, David? We got to make this happen, so we will make it happen. All right, Tom. We'll let you go.
David will facilitate.
David will facilitate for sure.
Right. Sir, you got it, Shannon.
All right.
Very cool. Thanks, Tom. We'll talk to you later. Okay.
Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome. Right. Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye. Guys. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a thumbs up on it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. And, of course, hit that little bell so you can get notified when we drop a brand new video. And, of course, you can check out other videos on this screen right now to see what we've done in the past as far as interviews are concerned or anything that's KUPD related. Thanks for watching.